Hey everybody, welcome to Fit Tip Tuesday. Today I'm answering a subscriber question that I got from the first fitting success story, the sway back video I did. The subscriber was asking about a separate topic and I thought it was really kind of cool and I've had it on my list. So I thought I would pop it in here, shifting gears from pants to shirts. Basically, her question was, her tops always fit better if she picks up the shoulders, but then she was saying that when she does that, it messes up her neckline. So what I want to talk about today is, if your armhole is always too big and you have too much fabric between your shoulder and let's say your bust and then the base of your armhole, that usually means you need to petite or shorten your armhole. So if you feel like you need to shorten your armhole and you have too much fabric here, what you're going to do is you're going to take the fabric and literally pleat it up underneath the neckline until it's hanging properly. Okay, now if this doesn't fix your issue, that's a separate issue. If it's still not hanging right or it needs to be adjusted, that means you need to deal with your shoulder. And I have a lot of tutorials on how to adjust the shoulder. I'll put a link below to a video showing how to fix the slope of your shoulder or to pick up the shoulder to get it to fit right. But if your shoulders are, if the shoulder seam is sitting on your body correctly, but it looks better when you pick it up, then what you're going to do is pleat it underneath, like literally just make a pleat underneath your neckline, through the armhole, pin it, look in front of the mirror. That will tell you how much of an adjustment you need to make to remove excess vertical length. So let's say that you could pick it up a ½ an inch. We'll just use that as an example. What you're going to do here is you're going to take your ruler and you're going to draw yourself a line through the front, underneath the neckline and into the armhole like this. Okay, and you can see what's going to happen here is we're going to also mark the amount we need to remove. So I'm going to draw another line a ½ an inch below that. Okay, then I think you can tell what I'm going to do here. I'm literally going to slash one line and I'm just going to connect it to the second line. And you can see what happens here is we're removing a ½ an inch of the length of the armhole, and we're sort of picking it up all the way across, which is typical if you need, a shorter armhole. It's likely you would need to have the whole thing be shorter. Now, we have a little bit of a truing up issue over here in the armhole. So always for truing up, what you're going to do is you're going to find the center of the difference and you're going to trim some off below and add some above like this to recreate the nice shape of your armhole. Let me just draw that in so you can see. All right, so we have shortened this a ½ an inch, and notice we haven't made any changes to our neckline, but we have shortened the armhole a ½ an inch. So my next thing I want to say is sometimes you only need to shorten it in the front. It may be fine in the back. Check your back view. And if you're not working with a 2-mirror setup, I highly recommend getting that going for yourself. I started working with 2 mirrors when I started working with my top down center out pants fitting adventure, and now I realize I use the 2-mirror setup for everything. So if you have 1 mirror on a wall or hanging on your door, find a second mirror that you can maybe prop up on a chair, or you can use your iPad and angle them so you can see your back view through 1 mirror without playing twister with yourself. It will allow you to see what's happening behind you, without being twisting around and trying to take pictures of yourself and raising your arms and lowering your arms. It'll allow you to just look. So check out your back view if it looks like you have too much vertical length in the back between your back neckline and the base of the armhole, you can shorten that as well. And I'm just going to quickly show you how to do that. And again, it's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to draw yourself a line. And the cool thing about the back is the truing up here is going to be next to 0 because the back neckline is usually much higher. So you can draw your horizontal line in the straight part of the back armhole, making the amount you have to true up next to nothing. And let me show you how that looks. Oh, let me just make my 1/2 inch. So the whole thing about truing up edges is the more of a curve you have, so you can see here in the front, it's a little bit of an angle curved. That's why there's a jog there. If your slash lines are perpendicular to the edge, there's less truing up. So let me just show you that. So again, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to slide them back together. And I'm using my center front and back to line the pattern back up. So you can see here, I virtually have nothing to true up. Okay, and I've shortened the, I've shortened the armhole a 1/2 inch in the front and a 1/2 inch in the back in this case. So let me just mark that so you can see. And also notice I don't have to true anything up here. It's basically fine. Okay, so think about what we did here. We cut here, lifted up the armhole front and back. So if I turn to the side, you can see that where I've shortened is in the height of the cap, right? Because I shortened the front and back, making the distance up to the tip of the shoulder shorter. So we have to make a like adjustment to the sleeve. Now, if you only needed it in the front, let's do that one first. And I apologize, this is really tiny. You're going to draw yourself a line above the notches, like this. And if you just shorten the front, so let's say in this first example when I showed you the front, I'm going to mark a 1/2 inch, but I'm going to make it a 1/4 because this is so tiny. But basically, I'm going to draw myself a line like this. Now notice, in this case, I'm only going to be shortening the front because I didn't touch the back. If the back is fine and you don't need to shorten it, what you're going to do is you're going to create a pivot here. And then I can literally just slide this down to get rid of the 1/2 inch in the front. And you're going to see this is a tight little sleeve cap here. It's not going to be as big of an issue truing up on a full-size pattern. But you can see, again, you're going to find the middle of the amount you need to true up, skim some off below, add a little bit above. So you're giving yourself a nice curve. And let me just draw that in so you can see. I'm just very gently truing it up like that. Okay, so that's how you would adjust the arm if you just needed to pick up the front armhole. If you need to do both, what you're going to do is you're going to just draw yourself the same guideline and then go straight across with it like this. And then I know you know what I'm going to do with that. I'm literally just going to slash that and slide the whole cap down. That's how you would adjust the sleeve if you shorten both the front and the back armhole. I'm just going to pop that back up there for you so you can see. And notice I'm using my center grain line to line that back up. And I'm just going to true it up the same way. I'm literally just going to skim a little bit off here, add a little bit there. Skim a little bit off here, add a little bit there. All right, that's how you true that up. We've lowered the cap so it is a like distance from shortening the armhole. So this is a way that you can get rid of excess vertical length from your shoulder to the base of your armhole if it's too long here and the shoulder is sitting properly on your shoulder. If you have any questions or comments about that, please post those below and I will help you. I hope you're enjoying these Fit Tip Tuesdays. As always, I want to remind you, if you have fitting questions, post them in the comment section because you may see your topic in an upcoming Fit Tip Tuesday video. I love it when I do subscriber Q&A because I know there's at least one person in the YouTube universe that needs the answer. So I always feel like I'm helping at least one person when I do a subscriber Q&A. It makes me happy. On Friday this week, there is no Fab Fit Friday because I'm flying off to Maryland to do a pants fitting with the Maryland ASG. So I apologize for that, but I will be posting pictures over the weekend of our pants fitting workshop on Saturday, so that will be lots of fun. So thank you guys so much for joining me and have a lovely rest of your day.